Hey, what's up you guys, it's Beezo, and today we are going to be speed building a castle, and this is not just any castle, okay? This is Snow White's castle. If you saw my previous video, you know that we started the Disney Princess Legacy Challenge, and of course, we start with Snow White. Now, I could have started her in the cottage, but like, where's the fun in that? So, we started out in the castle with the stepmother, and of course, she goes back to the castle at the end. That's what I assume. I mean, she runs off with the prince, but like, I'm just assuming that the evil queen dies and this becomes Snow White's castle. At least that's what's gonna happen in my gameplay. So anywho, I love building castles. I think there's a lot of freedom because, well, they're like timeless, and I feel like everybody has an idea of like what a castle could look like, and I feel like you just have to keep adding things. Like, start with a box, throw some turrets on there, and then some bump outs, and like, I don't know, eventually it just comes together. I don't know why I can't like do that when I'm building like normal houses. I'm like, oh no, that the proportions are incorrect. That doesn't look like something I'd find on the street or on Pinterest. But a castle, I don't know, I have a lot of fun. When it comes to fantasy builds, like, it's free game. The canvas is blank, there is no expectation. I'm just building, and I really want to try to figure out how to have that mindset for other things, because oof. I do love that we got the castle estate kit. Like, it just makes building castles like this so much nicer. Shout out to Juby Sims, who could literally make a castle out of anything. If you're not following Juby is Castle Queen. I needed the castle kit to like make solid castles and push myself a little bit to enjoy the castle making process. With this castle in particular, I wanted to be inspired by the castle from the Disney movie, but I also wanted to make it my own, and I'm kind of doing that across the board when it comes to like designing my Sims and what my builds are for this legacy challenge, because you can replicate in the Sims if you want to try hard enough and use tool and all of those things. But I really just wanted to be inspired, let my creativity go, and create something that's like a little original. So we're pulling from the original castle here, which is where we get the red roofs, we get kind of like the tan building. I did like add some of the dirtier texture just to give it some interest, so it wasn't all just like one flat shade. But I really like how this castle turned out. I used the Strangerville windows because I think they're just chef's kiss. They have that like gothic style that I really wanted to go for. And I don't remember if I said already, this is the first time that I've built using these little courtyards, and I'm really glad that I did. I used one of them to be like where the wishing well is, and then I used the other one as kind of like a memorial, the grave site of her father, because, you know, Snow White's dad is no longer in the picture. Look at how nice all of these castle elements that we got. I'm still curious to know what we would have gotten with the futuristic pack, but like, I think with what we have in the Sims now, the castle kit was the way to go. I think we have a lot of stuff that plays into the castle kit. Also, if you haven't gotten the castle kit yet and you're watching this and you're like, dang, castles are really cool, I want to build a castle, and you go to purchase the kit, because the kits are like the cheapest way to get more things into your game. I am an EA affiliate, so if you wanted to use my creator code BeezoPlays at checkout, it would be greatly appreciated. It doesn't give you any money off or anything like that, but it is a fun and free way on your end to support creators. So if you want to use that code, you can use it, and if you don't use it, like, I'll never know. So do what you will with that information. As you can see, I'm now trying to figure out what the layout is going to be for this castle. I knew some of the rooms that I wanted. I knew that I wanted a little throne room in front. That's kind of what I'm working on there. And then behind that ends up being like the dining room. There's a kitchen. I also have like the witch's lair. The witch's lair? She's a queen. She's an evil queen, but she's still a queen. Put some respect on her name. Up here, I'm like figuring out the bedrooms, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know what castle layouts are, but I'm just going to make this work and call it good. If you think my layout sucks, that's fine. It's my build, and it's for my gameplay, and I'm gonna prioritize certain aspects over others. But I actually really like how the bedrooms ended up turning out. Again, like, a layout is a layout, a hallway is a hallway, but you'll see once we get in there. And I also, this little top part, I was like, why did I give myself a top room? Why'd I give myself a top room? There was no need for that. I also love, I'm still new to kind of playing around with landscaping, but I love to heighten a build and put it on a hill. You'll see here that I'll use tool to kind of lower these. This is also a little tip that I got from Juby, is using these little rock things to kind of mask that brown spot in the hill, and it just makes it look a little nicer, in my opinion. And any kind of blemish you can like cover a plant with, it all works. As you can see, I'm just trying to like map out kind of what the pathways are going to be. I do think at some point I like logged out and then logged back in to finish this, and all of the pathways I just did just disappeared. So cute. But anyway, we're just kind of like setting it up on a mountain. I honestly, landscaping, I could landscape for hours. Landscaping, I think, is one of my favorite things to do in The Sims, and just like figure out where the trees are going to go, where the bushes are going to go. It gives your lot, especially when you have a big lot like this, it gives it so much personality. Putting vines on a building, like I love a detail. Any little detail you can put and add, like it just makes the build feel that much more lived in. It gives it that much more character, and I love it. Right now I'm doing the little well spot, so there's a little bench there, and this is the one that I went with, which I'm really glad because there's gameplay interacted with it, which again, if you've seen the first episode of the Legacy, you know I'm learning that not all good things come from a wishing well. Oops, I didn't know, okay? Then we move to the throne room. I love a throne room. I love a throne room. I love an elevated chair. Can we bring back throne rooms? Not that I need people to come like talk to me while I sit in a chair. I just think it looks really nice. It's just a fun little area. We got these new curtains in Lovestruck, and they could not have come at a better time. Like, look at the framing. Look at the framing. It's cute. Here I am trying to figure out if I want to layer curtains or not, and I decided, nope, I'm not going to do that. But I do like how the whole, like, this whole front entry section turns out really, really nice. Also the artwork they've been giving us lately, like, EA team, snaps to you, because they're really popping off. I loved this painting that we got with Lovestruck. Also the ones that we got with, the Bistro kit, those turned out really, really nice. This was a finicky, tricky part of figuring out how this was all gonna play into the design, but I really wanted these like cathedral, the name for what they're called is escaping me right now, but I like the railings. I like how those, it's like I said, it's the details. Ooh, I totally forgot that I turned all those purple and then was gonna do that, and I never went back and turned all of them purple. But if you wanted to go purple, purple is also a viable color. I was gonna put thrones for Little Snow and her dad, and then I was like, no, he's dead. She said, enough of that, enough of that. These little turrets, I was not sure what I was gonna do with. I was like, I guess we could put a chess table there, maybe, I don't know. I'm really happy with how these turned out. There's a chess table in this one, with a bookshelf, so you know your Sims can have activities to do, because there's no TV, because castles, believe me, I would know, because I once played Prince Adam the Beast for a princess party, and the Belle, who I was walking around with, had an interaction with one of the girls where the little girl was like, oh my gosh, I love to watch your movie on the TV, and Belle looked at her straight in the face and went, a TV? Well, I don't know what that is. I don't have a TV in my castle. And that lives rent-free in my mind. So no TVs in castles. They don't exist. Not in Disney Princess Land, apparently. So I did put a chess table in the other one, and then I was gonna put a working tea set in this one, and then I was like, no. This one is just, this is not for functionality. This is just for looks. I guess if they wanted to sit here and read something, they could, but not today, not for me. Okay, what we're about to do is one of my favorite things to do, and that is clutter the top of a fireplace. Are you kidding? Like, look at that. I put the urn there because dad, she has a dead dad, so there's an urn there. And then I put books, and I think I also put a photo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I put a photo, and I'm like, this is dad. It's not, but like it just, you know, we use our imagination here to really sell it, you know. And we're back to the middle of the throne room, just putting in some details. I was like, I don't know, like this is not a room that they're gonna be in a ton of the time. I don't think. They haven't been in this room a ton. They've played chess a little bit. Sometimes Snow sits on the throne and like does some light reading, but other than that, oh, I also wanted to add like little elements of like an apple tree throughout. So we use this tapestry. Actually, now that I think about it, I think that's the only like nod to the apples that I put in the entire build. And because this is a gameplay build, it has to be functional. Usually I'm a big proponent for aesthetic over functionality, but I'm actually playing in my builds for once, so we got to make sure that the Sims can function here. Now we're working on Snow White's bedroom. Now, with Snow White's bedroom, I wanted to stick with like the traditional Snow White colors, so like the reds, the blues, the yellows, but I wanted to do it subtly. Like this isn't a solid color challenge, or I guess a tri-color challenge. And I wanted it to still feel like medieval princess. Now, when I think about Snow White in the beginning of the movie, I know she's at the castle, but for some reason I was like, oh, it's rags to riches. Like, no, she started in a castle. The rags that she's wearing, those are her chore clothes. She's cleaning. She's like getting water from the well and sweeping. Because they apparently didn't have a staff. I guess I later gave them a staff room in one of the outer turrets, but like, did she have staff, or was she just like, did her stepmom make her do the cleaning? I'm not 100% sure. But then later in the movie, when she like goes to the forest to meet the dwarves, she's in a nice dress because she's a princess and she owns and affords that stuff. I really like how her bedroom turned out. I think it's cozy. I think it's cute. It's not too much, and it still fits this like castle aesthetic, that like stone walls and stone floors, which I went back and forth on so much, but I was like, you know what, this is the first castle, this is traditional castle, we're just gonna go for bare bones and just like add decor and stuff, which I'm pretty happy with. This is the kitchen, and I kind of messed it up a little bit. I mean, I think it looks good. This is one of those areas that I did do a little aesthetic over functionality, because I wanted it to look like they cook over the fireplace. So there is no stove, but I did put a stove in the servants' quarters. So they keep cooking in the servants' quarters and not in the kitchen, which it's fine. That's the one thing that I might, before uploading to the gallery, add a stove into the kitchen. This is the queen's room. I love the queen's room. We went with another platform and that vampire bed. Again, we were going for like some of the colors without making it a solid color challenge type thing, and just some of the like same elements mirrored over in her room as well. Then this stupid roof. Okay, this is one of my biggest pet peeves with roofing, is that it always clips. When you add even like the medium trim, it clips. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna cover it with curtains because it's medieval, and I feel like they would probably do that. And she also, I don't know, they were black and purple, okay? And I think it looks good. So we went ahead and kept it. I added a mirror for her too, and a little lounge and a little vanity, because, you know, the evil queen, she do be vain. And then I added just a simple photo. It's the same photo from downstairs. I'm not gonna let that bother me. Then I didn't know what to do with this space, and I said, hey, we don't have a dining room, and I guess I really only need 2 chairs because there's just 2 people who live here, and I like the like classic chairs across the table from one another motif or look or whatever you want to call it. So I like that, and then I added one of those little things there, and then just started like throwing random stuff. I think I threw a clock. Did I keep the chair? Maybe I do a table? I don't know. But oh, there we go. That's, I think, where, no, wow, I changed so much of that. But cute, it works. Now this is my favorite part of the whole castle. This I knew that I wanted to do from the beginning, and this is the magic mirror room. So we have a little pedestal, and I wanted it to have its own little space, like I think it does in the movie, but I used that mirror from the Crystal Creations kit. I sized it up, and then I had to work and find mirrors that I could size down, that I could then kind of fill in. So it's not like perfect, but like she looks cute, okay? Again, it's functional. It's 100% functional. You can't actually see the reflection in the mirror, but they can still use it as a mirror, and like that's good enough for me, truly. Here I was like, I'm gonna put up some of these curtains. It's gonna look really cute. It's gonna look really spooky. Just wait, because I wanted to give the queen like her own little lair, right? And I was gonna do this in the basement. I was gonna have like a little staircase in this room, or like a little ladder down to like a dungeon where she would have all of her spells and potions and stuff. And then I realized like this round room is big enough. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it, and I'm pretty pleased as punch with how it turned out. I don't want to like give it away before you see it. But basically I just did mirrors. I did so many mirrors all around the room. I like put them at different heights, and it turns out really cool. And it's such a cool, like, you walk in and you can just see the Sims reflection in like every mirror. It's really cool, and I thought that it made a lot of sense. I was like, she's got the one magic mirror, but maybe she has 100 mirrors because she loves to look at herself because she's so dang vain. So this is her little like magic spell room that Snow's not allowed into. She talks to the magic mirror in here. I do end up putting like a cauldron in here and some of the stuff from Realm of Magic. Just, she's not a spellcaster, but like, listen, we're having fun, we're storytelling, it's pretend. It kind of feels, it's giving a little attic at times, but I kind of love it. I kind of love all of the different like brown tones. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this little room. This might be, this and Snow's bedroom I think are my two favorite rooms in the whole castle. I do like the throne room. It's a little basic, but like, we love it. And then I just kept throwing random things. I was like, that goes there, sure. It's her secret lair, we can do whatever we want. And just like that, she's done. I'm obsessed. It's giving storybook. It's giving everything that I wanted it to give. I think it's reminiscent enough of the movie, like classic Disney castle for Snow White. It's perfect. And there she is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and tell me down in the comments, what was your favorite part of this build? I'll leave all my socials down below if you want to follow me other places. And I'm really, really proud of how this castle came out. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. And until next time, go do something with your life. Peace!